Good evening. My name is Michael Ross, and my daughter goes to Ayala High School. I am here to speak in regards to my concerns not only on the mandate to vaccinate our kids with the new vaccine, but also what seems as a concerted effort by the mainstream media and pharma to censor information or testaments on the adverse effects of this vaccine, which I think makes it very hard for yourselves and us as parents to evaluate if the benefits of this vaccine outweigh the potential risks. I think the first and most important fact is per the CDC, children under 18 years of age have a 99.9% survival rate from COVID. So there's literally almost zero risk for them dying from COVID. This is a very important statistic when we are evaluating the risk versus the benefit of mandating this vaccine. A concern of ours should be that this mRNA vaccine is brand new technology being used on humans. The messenger RNA in these vaccines reprograms your cell to produce the COVID pathogen in the form of a spike protein. So it's producing the very pathogen it's supposed to shield us from. No other flu vaccine works like this. We have zero independent, peer-reviewed efficacy studies on the long-term safety or adverse effects of this vaccine. So we need to proceed with caution. In October 2020, there was a meeting between Pfizer and the CDC. They listed 20 plus severe side effects of the vaccine, which includes myocarditis, which is inflammation of the heart wall, pericarditis, which is swelling and irritation of the membrane surrounding the heart, autoimmune disease, pregnancy and birth outcomes, multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children, which the Mayo Clinic defines as a serious condition where multiple organs, such as the brain, spleen, gut, heart, eyes, become inflamed at the same time, which can cause death. These critical facts must be discussed with the public for informed consent to set in, and they are not. Nowhere in the Moderna or the Pfizer Emergency Authorization Act fact sheets are we getting full disclosure. So how are we as parents, you as board members, supposed to make an informed, educated decision if the benefits outweigh the risks of this vaccine? We are not being provided informed consent. Once you take this vaccine, your immune system is reprogrammed, and there is no going back if there are serious adverse effects down the line. We cannot turn this off. I pray that you have the courage to fight for our children, push back on this mandate. Our kids should not be guinea pigs on an experimental, unproven vaccine from a virus in which they have a 99.9% survival rate. God bless you all, and thank you for your time.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cindy Foisey. I'm here to reject the governor and your mandates on masks and vaccines. Masks, point one. What is the dirtiest part of your body? Your mouth. You want our children to be masked 6 to 8 hours a day. It's child abuse. My grandson, age 5, wore a mask for 6.5 hours a day last year. After 3 days, you could see the bright red fungus appear around his mouth and lips. The prescribed cream was applied 3 times a day, and all it did was take away some of the redness overnight. It was sore and it hurt. He endured this for 4 months. During Christmas break, it cleared up with the cream. He returned to school. He outsmarted everyone with all their degrees. He wore his mask just under his nose so he could breathe properly. Let's see. Of course, there were many adults who kept asking him to pull his mask up over his nose, which he complied with for the moment. Guess what happened? The fungus hasn't come back. Don't tell me masks don't harm children. Why did it take a 5-year-old to figure this out for himself? Point 2, how do children learn to talk? They watch your mouth and listen. Can you see your mouth move with a mask on? No. Can you hear properly with a mask on for pronunciation? No. Can you even read people's faces with a mask on? No. How in the world is this helping children? All in the name of fearing the spread of COVID, which there is no study that masks even work. This is child abuse. Stand up and end it. Something for you to think about. It is my understanding, or there appears to be no pushback on this governor. He is not the God he thinks he is. We elect and pay you to give our children a good education and to fight for them. Quit dumbing them down and abusing them. Leadership is not to be like sheep. Characteristics of sheep. Number 1, timid, fearful, easily panicked. Number 2, dumb, stupid, gullible. Number 3, stampede easily, vulnerable to mob psychology. Number 4, little or no means of self-defense, can only run. Number 5, easily killed by enemies. Number 6, jealous, competitive for dominance. 7, helpless.
Time.
8, needy.
Time.
Leaders need to be lion-like, not sheep-like.
Your time has expired, ma'am. Thank you.
It is better to be a lion for one day
Caitlin Martinez,
than a sheep
Ma'am,
all
your time
your life.
expired.
Angela
Please step down.
Romero, followed by Cristo. Caitlin Martinez.
Pleasure to see you guys all again. Always fun. To kind of recap on last meeting, Bridge, you mentioned about the sugar cubes and how it was just a normal thing. We all lined up, got our sugar cubes. Like a typical high school teacher, history teacher, you failed to leave out the other side. 200 were administered and then they stopped because 40,000 of them had severe adverse reactions. So when you look at that, you can't just use this blanket term and assuming that everyone's going to be safe. I did it, I'm fine. My son, who's back there who didn't want to come up, is not fine. He is that 0.1% you want to protect. But the irony is, we had to create an elderly hour during the pandemic because it was every man for themselves to get water and food. Now we're worried about the immune compromised? It's a joke and you know it. And then Gagne, you speak on mandates and how our hands are tied, and all this legal stuff. I know legal stuff. I've gone through malpractice lawsuits where I've taken doctor's license. I've gone through custody battles. I've gone in through court. I even helped my best friend study for the bar. I'm well versed in laws. And I know that there's a lot of gray areas to them, and that's where you guys tiptoe and hide behind. You hide behind these mandates. What good are you guys if you guys are just glorified messengers? When will you stand up for our kids? We see all these other counties. We see Riverside County. We see Orange County. We see Kern County up north. We see all of these counties standing up and saying, wait, this mandate isn't okay. Newsom put a mandate on churches, and what happened? He got sued and owed $3 million. Not all mandates are lawful. And you guys know that. What mandate will it take for you guys to stand up for our kids? Will it have to be food rationing where you guys stop and say, wait, something's wrong? What will it take? I'm really wanting to know. We already have thousands of people losing jobs. We have kids kicked out of school right now. Kids that are suffering with masks. All to protect my son? That's not your job. My job is to protect my son. I'm not expecting anyone else to light their kid on fire to protect mine. That's not your burden, that's mine. So as much as I love you guys carrying that burden, we all know that it's a false advertisement of what you truly stand for. It's about control. And that's not what this country was built on, and that is not what you guys should be standing up here for. We as parents elected you to fight for us. Fight for us, don't be messengers. You guys can push back on this mandate, and you know it. There's so many people, SB 277, they wiggled around with the exemptions and with the laws with the vaccines. They're going to push away with that too. We're going to lose exemptions with this. So I hope at the end of this, your remarks aren't, oh, we'll have exemptions in place. They pulled those a long time ago, and they're working on it right now. Senator Pan already announced it.
Time.
So please do the right thing for our kids, for once.
Angela Romero, followed by Cristo, followed by Marcia Kane.
Sharon, can you read the first name again?
Angela Romero.
Hi, my name is Angela Romero. These are our children, our future. They are not to be test subjects for the government, subject to potential myocarditis, blood clots, seizures, or becoming sterile. Our kids just want to be kids and go to school and deal with normal school issues. Instead, they are subject of tug of war. They deserve to be unmasked and the option to or not to be vaccinated. The government should not mandate a vaccine on our children of which they have no official evidence of potential immediate, short-term, or long-term consequences. These are our kids, our future, and we should have the rights and ability to choose what we believe is right for them, not the government. You, right here in front of all of us, are our voice. Via an invite I saw on the agenda to state my concerns and share my opinions, as such, I am here. I have faith that you will stand with us and do what is right for the greater good of our youth. We are here to vocalize our opinions and stand up for our kids as we have faith in your hopes that are good for you are good quality leaders. Per the agenda, leadership matters for California education system and the more than 6 million students that it serves. Please help us save the future and health of our kids. We ask you stand with us in this fight for the greater good and allow our kids to just be kids. Thank you.
Cristo, followed by Marcia Kane, followed by Hilda Rodriguez.
Sharon, the first name again, please.
Cristo.
Hi, you guys. My name is Crystal. I want to first off tell you guys thank you for meeting. I know Sonia said some of you guys met with some of the parents, and that's great. We really appreciate that. But at the same time, actions speak louder than words, and I've also heard you guys stating that you're backed in a corner, you have to follow these mandates, there's nothing you can do, and that you have to, that you can't fight, but you can. Like, that's your job. That's why you're sitting here. That's why you are elected. Isn't that why you're sitting on the board, is to represent us? If we all could just go above you guys and go to the state and go to the government, then why do we have a board? Like, what is your purpose? If we could do your job, why are you doing it? Why are you taking all of our money to not speak for us and represent us? So I already know after this, you guys are just going to say, there's nothing we can do, we're backed in a corner, but that's 100% false. Like Caitlin said, there's many districts fighting. The superintendent of Marietta Valley, if you go on their website, he put a big disclaimer on there. It was a big red exclamation mark. You click on it, and he stated that they are supporting parent choice, and they are fighting this. They have lawyered up, and they are ready to go. I made many phone calls to other schools and other districts that have already lawyered up as well, and they're ready to go. You can do something about it. You can fight. You just don't want to because it doesn't fit your agenda. I know a lot of companies out there are getting money for each and every employee that gets vaccinated, right? I'm pretty sure that's why you're not fighting this either. The dollars that's going to go in your pocket, right? You have made it very clear that money is more important to you than our children. If you haven't noticed by now, we aren't going away. We want parent choice. We need parent choice. If people want to mask their kids and vaccinate their kids, then they should have that choice. But we should also have that choice if we don't want to do that. We didn't have children for the government to tell us what to do with them. Today, kids are 50% of our population, but they are 100% of our future. And we need to invest and then support our youth. And if you guys aren't going to do that, then maybe you should consider a different profession, because in case you forgot, you are school board members. Have a good day.
Marcia Kane, followed by Hilda Rodriguez, followed by